The story of Gideon and the fleece. Once upon a time, in the land of Israel, the people were oppressed by the Midianites. The Midianites would come up and destroy the crops, leaving the Israelites with nothing to eat. The Israelites cried out to God for help. God called a man named Gideon to deliver the Israelites from the Midianites. Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to hide it from the Midianites when the angel of the Lord appeared to him. The angel told Gideon that God had chosen him to save Israel from the Midianites. Gideon was unsure and asked for a sign from God to confirm his call. Gideon asked God to make the fleece he laid on the threshing floor wet with dew, but the ground around it dry. That night, God answered Gideon's request, and the fleece was wet while the ground was dry. Gideon still doubted, so he asked for another sign. This time, he asked God to make the fleece dry and the ground wet. Again, God answered Gideon's request, and the fleece was dry while the ground was wet. With these signs, Gideon felt confident that God was with him. He gathered an army of 32,000 men to fight the Midianites. But God told Gideon that the army was too large, and he wanted to make sure the Israelites knew that the victory would be his, not theirs. God told Gideon to send home those who were afraid or unsure. 22,000 men went home, leaving 10,000. God still told Gideon that the army was too large, so he had Gideon take the men to the water. Those who lapped the water like dogs were sent home, leaving only 300 men. With these 300 men, Gideon and God defeated the Midianites. The Israelites were saved, and Gideon became a great leader. And so Gideon learned to trust in God's plan and power, even when he felt unsure. The end. Remember, kids, God is always with us, and He will help us overcome our fears and doubts if we trust in Him.